behema. Before I shechted, I checked the knife, and the knife was perfect. I shecht the behema, okay? And I then chop up a bunch of bones, okay? What's the halacha regarding the behema? So there was a machlokes between Rav Huna and Rav Chisda. Rav Huna said, no good. Why? Rav Huna said that it was nifkam in the or of the behema. Before it got to the simanim, it was nifkam in the or of the behema.
It doesn't say it was nifkam. He
Could have
says
been.
We attribute the pegima, right? We attribute the pegima to the
skin.
To the skin. Okay, that's what he says. Along comes Rav Chisda, and Rav Chisda says behema's fine. Why? We attribute the pegima to the bones, not the neck bone.
The bone,
right? The neck bone. We haven't gotten to the neck bone yet, right? Neck bone's coming. Okay, we haven't gotten to the neck bone yet. So we do that. We attribute that to the pegima, to the bones that he's busy chopping up. Okay. Okay. So So the Gemara goes back and forth between the two opinions. We learned a little bit why. Why does Rav Huna say what he says? Rav Huna says you keep it in the chazaka. The chazaka is a chazaka of a shchuta, and until we know that the chazaka has been broken by a valid shchita, we can't assume the shchita is valid. Rav Chisda, on the other hand, said, look at chances, right? Was it more likely that this knife became pagum based on the skin, or is it more likely that this knife became pagum based on the bones? Clearly more likely that it became pagum based on the bones. That's the machlokas. How does the Gemara end? 3 lines down from the top on page Yud Amid Beis, 10b1. The Gemara says, V'hilchasa kivase de Rav Huna kishalo shibar ba etzem. What's the halacha? The halacha is like Rav Huna if you didn't break any bones afterwards. So in other words, what are we talking about? You shech the behema. This is the halacha. You shech the behema. Before you do the shchita, you check the knife. The knife is good. You shech the behema. Then you look at the knife again. The knife is nifkam. Okay? So what's the halacha? The halacha is, according to Rav Huna, that we assume it became nifkam on the or of the animal. We assume it became nifkam on the or of the animal. That's not correct. We assume it became pagum. It was nifkam on the or of the animal, and we say the shchita is not good. Okay, that's Rav Huna. That's what it means. V'hilchas hakavasi de Rav Huna kishalo shibar ba etzem, or shiber ba etzem. V'hilchas hakavasi de Rav Chisda kisha shiber ba etzem. On the other hand, if you, after the shchita, before you check the knife, chopped up some bones, and now you look at the knife and the knife is pagum, so we follow then the halacha of Rav Chisda, and we assume that it's
from the neck bones.
That it's from not the neck bones, but it's from the bones that you were cutting up, right? From the bones that you were cutting up afterwards. You're both into neck bones we're getting to, right? But from the bones that you were cutting up afterwards.
That's not what we do.
What?
That's not what we do.
That's not what we do.
Right. We're like Rav Huna.
Well, that's why if you look, you look.
Yeah.
It says, right? It says the hilchasa.
I know we're going to get to the neck bone, but if you hit the neck bone,
but it's not talking about the neck bone. It's talking
it's
about post. It's the same thing as you dropping the knife. If you took your knife afterwards, right, and started breaking bones from another animal that was lying there, you would go according to Rav Chisda.
Why would you say that? If you didn't check after you did it,
You did the shchita. You didn't check. You then chopped up bones.
if you lost it, you would. If you lost the knife, you would go according to Rav Chisda.
If you dropped the knife
If you
and
dropped
it fell
the
on the
knife,
blade,
You
would assume that it happened when it fell on the thing. Same
That's
exact
true.
thing.
That's true.
And not the bones.
Not the bones.
That's true.
The only question I have is why does it the question wasn't about whether the whole thing was about whether you broke bones or not. So why is it even saying that Hilcha's like Rav Huna before you would like? Why did it even need to
Okay,
say that?
we're gonna come to that question. Okay, we're gonna come to that question. You're saying the machlokes was right. The machlokes was I broke bone. In other words, I shechted, and then I looked at, and then I didn't look at the knife, and then I broke bones, and then I looked at the knife.
Right.
Right. So under those circumstances, that's where the machlokes is.
Yes.
Not here where Rav Huna says kishalosh shiber ba'etzem. Right.
Right, because we know
Right.
the halakha.
Okay, so we'll hold on to that. We're gonna come back to that. That's gonna be an important piece here. Okay, so what do we have? So we have the halacha is if you shechted with a good knife and afterwards found a pegima, the shechita is no good. That's the halacha like Rav Huna. We assume it is ba'or nifkama. On the other
Or if
hand,
there's something in the esophagus, or
we say ba'or nifkama. Whatever it is, ba'or nifkama. Okay? On the other hand, if you shechted with a good knife and then didn't check the knife afterwards and chopped up some bones, in other words, used the knife for something that
In a
was
way that you should.
more likely to
Cause problem.
to nick it, so then with the halachas like Rav Chisda, and we follow that halacha, right? That would be the same case, the case that Zach mentioned. I dropped the knife. I don't have a chance to look at the knife afterwards. I drop the knife. I pick it up. It's nifka. What do we say?
the shkita was good.
The shechita was good, right? That's the closest we come to Rav Chisda's case of shiber ba atzamos. Yes, Elliot.
No, just one is purpose and one is not purpose.
One is
One is,
purpose.
okay, if you're whacking bones with your knife, you're purposely making a piggy with the knife.
It's not, but what's irrelevant? Meaning,
I
I,
mean,
think
one
the
is
sock,
Irrelevant whether you're doing it
but
purposely.
the
or not.
sock.
Well, you're saying that
If
it's
you
not.
happen to lose your knife before you check it, you didn't do
Oh.
it on purpose. If you
Okay.
happen
If
to
you drop the knife,
right, but if you happen to accidentally drop it, that's. I'm just saying, is there a difference if you accidentally drop it or if you take
No,
it
you
check
can
it
take
around?
your knife. Throw
No,
it
no,
against the
no.
brick
You're
wall.
right, Elliot. That there's a difference between doing something accidentally and doing something bikavana.
Right.
But it's an
A lot of
irrelevant.
people halacha
But
wouldn't work.
but it's not an important difference for our case here.
So
In other
I think
words-
a lot of times in halacha, though, you're more mindful
Intent.
of the person who purposely did it.
Right, but
Like,
that's
for
not the
example,
case
even
here.
if you- Right, I'm saying, why is it?
Didn't,
be-
didn't you guys know that there was
Because
a shot
what we're looking at here is not
throws the
the
knife?
intention of the individual. We're looking at what are the chances, what are the chances that this knife became nifgam on the skin versus the knife became nifgam on something that you did deliberately. It doesn't matter whether you did it deliberately or did it accidentally.
Right, but if
The
you had a
choice, the
hard
chances are
shechita,
the same.
If you had a hard shechita and you're worried that maybe you caused a pegima, you theoretically could have.
No, but that's you think there's a pegima as opposed to you just not.
Well, that's
thinking
why we
throwing it.
that's why we need a shochet who we can rely on.
I'm
Yes.
just asking why.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the halacha. So the Gemara asks, based on that conclusion, the Gemara asks the following interesting question. Okay, so let's say as follows. Okay, So what's the halacha? Rav Huna says, if you shecht and then you don't, you shecht and you check the knife afterwards and it's nifgam. What's the case?
Asur.
Asur. That says v'hilchasakir Rav Huna. When you say v'hilchasakir Rav Huna, it must mean that Rav Huna has a bar plukta. In other words, you have to say hilchasakir Rav Huna because somebody disagrees with Rav Huna in that case.
Right.
Because if there was no disagreement about that case, you wouldn't have to say hilchasakir Rav Huna. Right? Everybody would hold the halachas that way. To say hilchasa by Rav Huna, by definition means
There's a
Rav
different
Chisda disagrees with him. So the Gemara is saying, well, what could Rav Chisda's position possibly be? So let's at least understand what Rav Chisda said. Rav Huna says, over here, right? Rav Huna says, I checked the knife, it's good. I checked the knife, it has a pegima, shchita's no good. Rav Chisda says, I checked the knife, it's good. I checked the knife afterward, it has a pegima, it's good. That's what Rav Chisda says. We don't paskin that way.
Right.
But if we're saying the halacha is like Rav Huna, that must mean
that some people have by
that somebody doesn't agree with that, and that somebody is obviously Rav Chisda. So the question becomes, what could Rav Chisda possibly be thinking? In other words, what does Rav Chisda say? Based on this implication by the Gemara, according to Rav Chisda, I checked my knife, I shechted, I checked my knife afterwards, there was a pegima, and the shechita is still good. What's Rav Chisda thinking? How could he possibly think that?
He's going on probability.
He's got
Probability of what?
Got to be the mafrecha.
That it's got to be the mafrecha.
It's gotta be the mafrecha.
That's what the Gemara says. Okay, look inside. The Gemara says exactly that. Says the Gemara, Michlal, this conclusion of the Gemara implies the Rav Chisda, that when it comes to Rav Chisda's position, Af al gav de lo shiber ba etzem, even if he wasn't cutting bones afterwards, and he would look at the knife and there would be a pegima, he would say the shechita is good. So if that's the case, ella b'mai ifkim, right? What caused the pegima? I'm sorry, you got a part? Yud Amud Beis.
10b.
10b1.
I'm okay.
Right? Ella b'mai ifgam. What then caused the pegima? Says the Gemara, Ema be'etzem de mafreket ifgam. That what? It became pogum on the neck bone. Okay? So look at the picture that you have in front of you. You see that
The neck.
all right, you see where the kana is, you see where the right veshet is the green, and you see where the neck bone is. Now it's not unlikely that if you cut through completely through the kana and the veshet, it's not unlikely that you're going to nick the neck bone.
Right.
Right? Not
always nick
unlikely
the neck
that you're going to nick what?
You always nick the neck bone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it
Always.
doesn't mean that there's a pekima.
No, but I'm saying it's very rare for you not to
Well,
touch
certainly
the
on a chicken. I
on a
mean,
behemoth too.
you know,
Behemoth,
But it doesn't mean just because you hit the mafrecha, it doesn't mean there's a.
No, you
No.
check it
Oh,
afterwards.
you check it
You
afterwards.
see.
Right.
But I'm just saying, yeah, because with a behemoth, because you have to get rid of both,
Right.
And there's expensive loss.
Right.
You want to make sure that
That you
you've
get
gone
through
farther enough.
right. So according to Rav Chisda's position must be the following case, right? I check my knife, it's good. I shecht the behemoth. I check my knife, it's bad. You can eat the animal.
Jonathan's asking if you're online.
I am online. Can he not get on?
I think I think it's probably from the.
He's on a plane.
No. You can text me.
Yeah,
Tell
but
him
it could
to-
be a,
tell him to
a
click the link,
stream
who knows?
versus a-
We are on. I don't see anybody joining. We have a good stream, so
Okay.
okay. So according to Rav Chisda, the behemoth is good. Why is the behemoth good? Because the knife became nifgam on the mafreket. That's what Rav Chisda says. Okay. Do we paskin that way?
No.
No, we do not paskin that way. But that's Rav Chisda's pshat. Have uvda. So there was such a case. V'taraf Rav Yosef ad tilesar chiyusa. Right. This is a shaychit's nightmare. What happened? Check the knife. Knife was good.
showing offline.
It is showing offline.
Live stream offline.
I don't know why that is. Okay, that's interesting.